What if I told you that the most dangerous man in WWE history just picked up his phone, walked into a room full of cameras, and delivered a message so cold, so calculated, so absolutely terrifying that the entire wrestling world stopped breathing for a full 10 seconds? What if I told you that message was directed at one man who has been running his mouth, stealing the spotlight, and acting like he owns Monday nights? And what if I told you that the beast is done waiting? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wrestling Impact. Strap in, because today we are diving deep into one of the most spine-chilling moments in recent WWE history. Brock Lesnar sending a warning to CM Punk after the Elimination Chamber, and trust me, by the time this video is over, you are going to understand just how serious this situation has become. But before we get into all of that, if you are new here, welcome to the family. Hit that subscribe button right now, because on this channel, we do not do watered-down, surface-level wrestling content. We go deep. We go cinematic. We tell the stories that deserve to be told the way they deserve to be told. Now let's get into it. Let's rewind the clock just a little bit. Elimination Chamber. One of WWE's most brutal, most unforgiving premium live events on the calendar. 6 men, steel walls, plexiglass pods, and a structure that has ended careers, shattered dreams, and created legends all in the same night. The Chamber does not care who you are. It does not care about your history, your championships, your catchphrases, or your fan base. The Chamber takes everything from you, and if you are lucky, it gives you something back, and that something is opportunity. Now CM Punk walking into Elimination Chamber was already a statement in itself. Think about that for a moment. This man came back to WWE after years away. Years of legal battles, of uncertainty, of watching from the outside while the company he helped build continued without him. His return was electric. His promos were must-see television. His presence alone shifted the energy in any arena he walked into. CM Punk made people believe again that professional wrestling could be art, that a microphone in the right hands was more powerful than any championship belt. He walked back in through that door and immediately reminded everyone, absolutely everyone, why he is called the best in the world. And at Elimination Chamber, he stepped inside that unforgiving steel structure, ready to prove that his body could still back up every single word his mouth had been saying since the moment he came back. The match itself was something else entirely. Picture this: the lights go down inside that massive arena, the chamber lowers from the ceiling like some kind of metallic monster descending upon its prey, and the crowd is already on their feet before a single superstar even makes their entrance. That is what the Chamber does to people. It creates anticipation so thick you can almost touch it. Punk's entrance alone sent the arena into a frenzy. That familiar music, that deliberate walk, those eyes scanning the crowd as if to say, I see you, I hear you, and tonight, I fight for all of us. He rolled his shoulders, cracked his knuckles, and stepped through the chamber door with the kind of focus that honestly makes your skin crawl a little bit. This was not a man looking to survive the chamber. This was a man looking to dominate it. And for a long stretch of that match, he did exactly that. CM Punk inside the Elimination Chamber looked like a different species. His technical precision was on full display, countering power moves with submission attempts, using the steel walls to his advantage, climbing the pods at just the right moments to land aerial strikes that the crowd absolutely lost their minds over. Every near fall made the arena shake. Every time his shoulder came up off the mat, people screamed like they had just witnessed a miracle. Because with CM Punk, every kickout feels like defiance. Every moment he refuses to stay down is a philosophical statement: I will not be broken. But here is where the story gets complicated. Here is where wrestling, which is already a deeply layered narrative art form, adds another dimension entirely. The Chamber, as we said, does not care about your story. It does not care about your momentum. And the outcome of that match, the specific way things unfolded at the end, the chaos, the bodies hitting steel, the desperate scramble, it left CM Punk standing not in triumph, but in that brutal gray area that wrestling does so brilliantly. Not quite victorious, not destroyed, but standing, defiant, and furious. The aftermath inside that arena was something the live crowd will talk about for years. Punk stood in the ring, his chest heaving, sweat pouring down his face, and you could see it in his eyes, that calculation happening in real time. What comes next? What is the next move? Because for a man like CM Punk, there is always a next move. He is never truly defeated. He is only ever redirected. And then it happened. The screen in the arena flickered. Not a scheduled segment. Not a produced package that the production team had telegraphed. Something unannounced. Something that made the production crew backstage reportedly freeze in their tracks. And on that screen, in that unmistakable way that only one man on this earth can command, Brock Lesnar appeared. Now I want you to understand something about what it means when Brock Lesnar appears unannounced. This is not a man who does things casually. This is not a man who shows up for attention or for applause. Brock Lesnar operates on a completely different frequency than every other human being in professional wrestling. When he speaks, it is because he has calculated that speaking is the most effective tool available to him in that specific moment. When he is silent, it is because silence is the weapon. And when he decides to send a warning, a deliberate, specific, targeted warning, it means that the clock has already started ticking and the person receiving that warning may not even fully understand yet what is coming their way. The video package was simple. Almost insultingly simple for how devastating it was. No pyro. No theatrics. No dramatic music underneath. Just Brock Lesnar, standing in what appeared to be a locker room or a private space, arms folded, looking directly into the camera with those ice-cold eyes. And he said, and I want you to really hear this, he said that he had been watching CM Punk strut around, talk about being the best, make demands, wave to the crowd like he had already won something. And Brock said he found it entertaining. He said that word specifically, entertaining, and somehow the way he delivered it made it sound more threatening than if he had simply threatened him outright. Because when Brock Lesnar finds your bravado entertaining, it means he does not fear you. It means he sees you the way a lion sees something smaller moving in the grass. Not as a threat, as an invitation. He said that after Elimination Chamber, CM Punk needed to think very carefully about his next steps. He said the word carefully twice. Slowly. Looking right into that camera. And then he said, and I am paraphrasing here, but the intent was crystal clear, he said that he did not need a title shot, he did not need a storyline, and he did not need anyone's permission. He said when he comes for CM Punk, it will not be announced. It will not be scheduled. It will simply happen. And then he smiled that half smile that Brock does where it never quite reaches his eyes, and the screen cut to black. The arena was silent for a beat. One full beat of pure, unprocessed shock. And then the crowd absolutely erupted. Now let's talk about why this is such a loaded moment, because there are about 17 different layers to this confrontation and each one of them is fascinating. First and foremost, you have to understand the history between these two men. CM Punk and Brock Lesnar have existed in WWE in the same universe before. They have shared the same space. And the tension between their personalities, their philosophies, and their respective ideas about what professional wrestling should be has always made their potential collision feel inevitable. Like two weather systems that were always going to meet and always going to produce something violent when they did. CM Punk is the voice. He is the articulate, passionate, fiery intellectual of professional wrestling. He uses words like weapons and he uses silence like a scalpel. He makes you feel like every single thing he does has meaning. He makes you feel like his victories are righteous and his losses are injustices, and he makes you feel like he genuinely, truly believes every syllable that comes out of his mouth. And the incredible thing is, so does the audience. Brock Lesnar is the opposite of all of that in the most perfect way possible. Brock does not need you to believe in him. He does not need your validation, your admiration, or your emotional investment. He exists in professional wrestling as a force of nature. He is not a character. He is a phenomenon. And the beautiful tension between Punk's articulate bravado and Lesnar's silent, terrifying dominance creates a matchup that almost feels unfair to put into words. And that is exactly why this warning is so effective. Because CM Punk has built his entire return around being the loudest, most intelligent, most compelling voice in the room. And Brock Lesnar just walked into that room and said with barely any words at all that none of that matters when he decides to show up. Now backstage reactions to this moment, according to people close to the situation, were intense. Talent and crew members who were watching monitors backstage reportedly had immediate, visceral reactions. Some were excited. Some were genuinely unsettled because the segment had that quality, that rare quality in scripted entertainment where the line between performance and reality gets blurry in the best possible way. You could not tell if Brock was playing a character or simply being himself. And honestly, with Brock Lesnar, that question has never had a clean answer. From the fan perspective, social media absolutely detonated within seconds of that segment airing. The wrestling community, which as we all know is passionate and loud and deeply invested, collectively lost its collective mind. Clips were shared, opinions were flying, and that universal question that wrestling does so brilliantly at creating started trending immediately. What happens next? What happens next is the most beautiful question in professional wrestling. It is the question that has kept fans coming back for generations. What happens next between CM Punk, who is standing at the crossroads of his comeback with everything to prove and the intensity of a man who knows that time is not infinite, and Brock Lesnar, who operates outside of conventional timelines and storylines and who has just publicly announced himself as the oncoming storm? Think about the promo potential alone. Picture CM Punk on a microphone the following Monday, responding to Lesnar's warning, because you know he will respond. CM Punk does not receive messages silently. He does not tuck his chin and wait. He responds. He fires back. And whatever he says will be brilliant and passionate and cutting, and the crowd will eat every word of it. But here is the genius of Brock's positioning. No matter what Punk says, no matter how brilliant the promo is, no matter how loudly the crowd reacts, Brock's silence in response becomes louder than the promo itself. Because Brock already said it. He already said he is coming. He already said it will not be scheduled. And so every week that goes by, every segment that Punk is in, every match, every promo, there is that shadow. That question, is tonight the night? Is Brock going to walk through that curtain right now? That kind of sustained, slow-burning suspense is the stuff of legendary wrestling storytelling. It is the kind of tension that sold arenas in the 80s, and it is the kind of tension that sells pay-per-views in this era. It does not matter what platform you are watching on or how wrestling has evolved as a product. That fundamental feeling of impending collision between two forces that cannot coexist is timeless. And let's be honest with each other for a moment, because this channel has always been straight with you. The match itself, when it eventually happens, will be an event. Not just a match. An event. Because when Brock Lesnar and CM Punk share a ring, the weight of everything they represent, everything they have said and done and been in this industry, comes with them into that ring. Every suplex will feel like a consequence. Every submission attempt will feel like a desperate act of survival. Every near fall will feel like history trying to write itself in real time. CM Punk has beaten giants before. He has been the underdog who found a way. He has taken punishment that would end lesser men and turned it into fuel. But Brock Lesnar is not a giant in the traditional wrestling sense. Brock Lesnar is something else entirely. He is what happens when athletic ability and ferocity and pure unyielding will combine into a single human being. He is what keeps wrestlers up at night. And so here we are. Post-Elimination Chamber. The landscape has shifted. The warning has been issued. The clock is ticking. And CM Punk, the best in the world, the man who came back from everything, the man who stands in front of crowds and makes them believe, has to wake up every single day knowing that somewhere, Brock Lesnar is watching. And waiting. This is not just a rivalry. This is a collision of philosophies. This is art versus force. This is a man who believes words can move mountains facing a man who believes actions end conversations. This is exactly why we fell in love with professional wrestling in the first place, because when it is done right, it is not just entertainment. It is something deeper. It makes you feel something real. And Wrestling Impact is going to be here every step of the way, breaking it down, diving into the details, bringing you the analysis and the storytelling that this rivalry deserves. Because you deserve content that treats you like the intelligent, passionate wrestling fan that you are. You deserve more than just a recap. You deserve the story. So here is what I need from you right now. If this video fired you up, if that image of Brock Lesnar looking into that camera and delivering that warning gave you chills, I want to know. Drop a comment down below. Tell me who you think wins when these two eventually collide. Tell me what you think CM Punk should say in his response. Tell me if you think Brock Lesnar is truly coming for the title, or if this is something more personal. This comments section is your arena, and I want to hear you in it. And if you are not already subscribed to Wrestling Impact, what are you doing? Seriously. This is the channel that takes wrestling seriously as the storytelling art form it is. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a single upload. Because the story of Brock Lesnar and CM Punk is just getting started, and when the next chapter drops, you are going to want to be in this room when we break it down together. The beast has spoken. The clock is running, and the best in the world better be ready. This is Wrestling Impact, and we will see you in the next